Hello and welcome to the fifth installment of my GaURy5 railway diary. Since the last time I have continued with the work on the LagMelm module, and as you can see I have partly finished the query scene. Here are the loading track for the query, and in the front of it there is the storage track for the empty or loaded mineral wagons. Then on the left there's the head shunt, and in the background the engine shed track. Between the main line and the head shunt there is a workers' cottage or an office with a workshop attached, and here I started the village scene of LagMelm. On the left there is a seven models etched brass kit, and in the middle this is a plastic kit from Kestrel. On the right there's another 7 models kit. The road surface is made with Woodland Scenics fine ballast in black, and here this house is from the GaURy5 range. This station building is made of styrene. I scratch built it several years ago with the help of a friend who owns a CNC milling machine, because the walls were cut out with the CNC machine. As you have maybe noticed, there are some legs of my upper model railway, which I built during the February and March. This is NATO scale American themed layout, which will be based on John Allen's GaURy and Defeated Railroad. During the last 2 weeks I finished the branch line fill yard here on the right side. And it represents the Blaues-Halloch of my fixtures in relation to Blaues-Halloch branch line. The turnouts are controlled by ground throws from Caboose Hobbies. And here you can see my rolling stock, except for the class 37 and the 26 in the background. This is the rolling stock I plan to use for my next operating session in about 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks I was also preparing the layout for it. Speaking of the layout, I will give you an overfly over the GaURy5 railway trackage rides. Here is the fill yard. It's an 11 track fill yard with 2 short tracks, one for DMUs and one for single or locomotive. On the right side there is a branch line fill yard with 3 tracks. Then the lines curves around. Now here we are entering Inverell station with the branch line and the main line from the fill yard coming from the left. On the far side of the tracks there is a short track for a bay platform. Then the walls of a station building I also built a few years ago for my former Borve station modules. Here, this track, there will be the platform for the trains to Blarisalloch, or for the branch line. And these two tracks are for the GaURy5 railway. Here we've got another head shunt, and on the right, this track will be the track for the goods shed and loading platform. In the foreground there are the tracks for the Inverness distillery. Here in the background I think maybe that there will be some additional buildings for it. In the foreground this was a workshop from SD Moldings. I dry brushed it with powder pastels in white because there was quite light brownish color. The other buildings are from the Grand Farish or Bachmann Scenecraft range. This is the Oakworth Brewery buildings. These will be the loading and receiving tracks for distillery. Here, this track, here, this one I planned as a track to an cooperage, which will receive old barrels from maybe America or France or Spain, which were used for whiskey or sherry or port wine making, and would be reused here for with the barrels for whiskey making. At the moment I'm playing with the idea of putting the cooperage here and put in another turnout and then continue here as a head shunt, and at the end of the head shunt there will be a small, or there could be a small engine shed for industrial shunter, which shunts the wagons in the distillery and the cooperage. Here on the track there are two VDA vans from Taylor Precision Models. I ordered them about 2 weeks ago. At the moment the online shop from Taylor Precision Models is not open, but I emailed the owner of TPM and he sent these two cars to me. The only thing he has not in stock for these cars at the moment are the ballast weights. When I built the cars, the vans, I added some screw nuts as ballast weights, and I hope you could see it. I attached the dipole NEM adapters on the underside so that I could change the couplers in the future to maybe dipole easy shunt couplers. Okay, the truck is continuing to the right here with a gentle curve, and then the track goes along the wall. I have now to change position. So here is the joint between Inverness module boards and my scenic modules. Here is another 90-degree curve. And here is Glenbogle Viaduct with a Land Rover crossing the Glenbogle River. Then here is Canal. In this area there will be a platform, and here is a loading track with wood loading facility for in the near future. Here is this is one of my oldest modules. This I've got since about 2008. And I refurbished it a bit 2 years ago with a bit of static grass, but this was all I did since then. Here is a plate layers hut and some plate layers who are inspecting the tracks. A walker making a rest, and here you can see Highland cattle. And now we have arrived at Oik. Here you have arrived at Allapool, the workshop of the boat maker, the office of the coal stove of the coal dealer. Here on this will be the Allapool fisheries in future, and the fishing boat is a resin kit from Architect. The building in the background is only a placeholder. It's only temporarily here. And also these signal box. I don't know if I use the ratio Midland signal box again. On this I'm not satisfied with the paint job that I did to it. And for the rest of Allapool, I think it's familiar to you. Here in the foreground there are some other goods wagons, except for the ferry boat, stake wagon and the 2 grain hoppers and the press flow. These wagons were in storage for about 2 or 3 years. I put them on the layout quite recently for the planned parading session. Behind the wagons there could you see the wagon carts we are using for operating the layout. Okay. This is I hope this was informative for you, and we will see again in the next installment. Have a nice day and goodbye.